that he's scamming her, and he's like, let me make sure that your phone has some kind of GPS on it so I could track you. He says that she's attracted to drama. Like, she always ends up getting with guys who have some situation going on in their life that you're just like, why would you walk into this? Like, you see that is drama on the horizon and you still walk into it. So he thinks that that's just who she is, and she's just doing it for it, not attention, but that she is just predisposed to being with people who are gonna bring drama into her life. So this is not his first time dealing with Angela and her beaux, I guess. So our next scene with Angela is that she's packing up a duffel bag because she's going to the bus depot to pick up Toni. It is his day to get out of prison. She's going to then drive him to the halfway house, which he has to stay at for a couple of weeks before he then comes back and stays with her. So she's got him some dress shirts, some shoes, some slacks, so that when he comes out, he can go on interviews and do all the things that he needs to do. Girl, this duffel bag is large, so she's bought him a little bit more than that. P.S. She's also been spending and sending him about $200 a month for his toiletries, his clothes, and different things like that. So she's definitely his sugar mama. There is a slight worry that he is scamming her, the same way we thought that Liz is scamming Scott. So anyway, she gets to the bus depot and she's waiting. She's excited. She starts to ask other people who are getting off buses, like, you know, where they're coming from and what's going on. Toni is not showing up. It's like starting to get worried, thinking that she's being scammed. So she calls some office to get some information about him. I don't know if she got any information, but she's very worried. She says that she doesn't want to go to the place where she thinks that he's scamming her, but it's in the back of her mind definitely, because at some point she walks away from the cameras to go cry. And I just feel so bad for her. Okay, so let's move on to our next couple. We have Dom and Mary. So this is it. This is the time. Dom and Mary are finally going to be able to see each other. Mary gets all dressed up in her heels and her black dress and her leather jacket with her mom and her stepdad, and they all pack into the car and go to the prison to pick up Dom. They're dealing with some super, super rude guards, and so she's getting anxious because they're just sitting in the parking lot in a minivan waiting for them to drive Dom out. She thought she was going to roll up and Dom was just going to be out there waiting, but that's not how it worked. So I'm not sure exactly how long they sat in that car and waited, but the guards basically told them to not get out of the car and just chill. Maybe, you know, a couple minutes, maybe 2 hours later, they brought Dom out, and Dom is like shell-shocked a little bit. She's so excited to see him. She's having a hard time in those heels, girl, but you know, she's so excited to see him. She scurries up to him. The whole family comes out of the car. They're excited to see him. Apparently her mom and her stepdad have been coming to the prison to visit him too. So like, he is indoctrinated in their family. Like, it's only her friends, it seems, that has an issue with it. Her parents are completely supportive of it, which I was really shocked. He's just really, really focused on wanting to get to the halfway house so that he can fully be free, because I think he's really worried about messing up in these first couple of hours or days or weeks after he got out of prison and being sent right back. So he isn't as warm and welcoming as I think Mary would like. She has some kind of arrested development when it comes to him. She wants to start planning the wedding, and he's like, I can't, I've been in jail for 6 years. Like, I can't start planning a wedding. Like, he's been in jail for 6 years, and he looks like somebody who does not want to go back. Like, to me, he's very, very serious about not going back and getting this thing done. And she just wasn't prepared for that. So she's a little sad because he doesn't seem excited to see her. So on the ride there, I guess she wanted the conversation to be about something else, and the conversation was solely about him and all the things that he needs to do. In his confessionals, Dom says that his priority is to show the courts that he can meld back into society well, and that he can follow all the rules. They get to the halfway house and he's like, all right, bye. And she like walks him over and like hugs him, and he's just like, yep, bye. I gotta go in, gotta check in. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's all about his business. And so I think Mary's a little sad. She's just like, did I waste all my time? Like, what is happening? And I'm like, girl, just chill a bit. Again, give him 2 years to figure it out. I feel like Dom feels like someone who like is about his business and about his life. All the non-convicts want it to be about them, which I find to be so weird, because it's not. So our very last couple, you guys. This story made me so mad. I couldn't even finish watching it the second time because I was just so annoyed with Andrea. So where we left off last week is Andrea and Lamar in the hotel, and Andrea talking about he isn't gonna get any of her good because she's a good Mormon girl and she's not having sex until they get married. So they're still in Los Angeles. It's 2 days of him out of prison. There's a setup for him to meet some of his friends and family that he hasn't seen in a very long time. They meet at some like really bougie wine bar where like cheese and, you know, the like olives and cheese and meat spreads that get put out when you drink it with wine, like, yeah. So they meet there, and Andrea doesn't drink, so she's like, you know, talking about how she doesn't drink and that she hopes when she gets Lamar back to Utah that he won't drink either. And I'm just like, first you got to get him to accept your Latter-day Saint Mormonness. Like, don't this, okay, anyways, I can't go into that. So remember how I told you last time that when I want to get to a place where I don't judge people who start off with their religion first, because I feel like when someone's like, I'm a Christian, or Mormons are Christian because they believe Christ is the Son of God, but like when people start off with that thing, I feel like they want me to understand that their moral baseline is at a certain place, and when I feel like they don't live up to that moral baseline, I'm more heavy-handed in the judgment than I should be. So that's why I prefer to not have the I'm a Christian conversation with anyone, because I don't want to judge them when I feel like they're not being a Christian. So I feel like Andrea was not being a good person throughout this. She is so ridiculously selfish. She has no understanding of what Lamar is going through. 2 days out of prison, he wants to see his friends and family that he hasn't seen in 18 years, and she wants it to be all about her. He's disappointed because while they're at the hotel still and she's putting on her eyelashes, he finds out that his daughter is not going to be able to make it. And she then, Andrea, instead of being like, oh my God, your daughter's not going to be able to make it, is more so worried about meeting the mother of his child. Like, she doesn't want to ever have to meet any exes or baby mamas. So my thing is that he went to jail when he was 22 years old. I doubt that there are any exes out there that are looking or checking for Lamar. 18 years? Girl. Maybe, yes, baby mamas, because duh, like they had his kids. It only makes sense. I mean, it only makes sense for baby mamas to want to see how the father of their child is doing. So why would they not want to see him? Why would they not come with their child to see him unless they left on the worst terms? That doesn't make any sense. Like, it's been 18 years. So Andrea is asking for something impossible and Lamar is agreeing to something impossible. Now she says that he promised her. I didn't see him promise anything. I mean, he said, you don't have to deal with my baby mamas. To me, that means that you're not going to have to deal with any drama that could ensue with my baby mamas. Not you're never going to have to see them with your eyeballs. You're never going to have to be human and cordial. You're never going to have to mother with them, which is crazy. It's a crazy request, but whatever. So they get to the spot, everything is cool, Andrea's not drinking, Lamar's having a good time, and then daughter calls and says, we're coming, I can come and see you. And he gets really excited. What is he gonna say? Oh, tell your mom she has to sit in the car, tell your mom she can't come? He's not gonna say that. He wants to see his baby girl, you know? So Andrea overhears this because she's sitting next to him, and he's really excited. You know, he's got his family around him. He's got the love of his life on his right-hand side. And Andrea makes up some reason that she needs to leave. She made some reason up that she needed to like wire money to the kids or something like that, and then leaves. And he's like, oh, are you sure you have to leave? And she's like, yeah, I gotta go. And because he doesn't go with her, because he doesn't stop hanging out with the family that he hasn't seen in a very long time and go after her to Western Union or wherever the F she thinks she's gonna go, she feels like he doesn't care about her or love her. My question is, what was she gonna do? What if he did say, oh, I'll go with you? What was she gonna pretend to go somewhere and give money or make a phone call? Like, what was the plan? She set him up to fail, and I don't like games like that. I think it's very childish and stupid. Anyways, he's like, all right, you gotta go, you gotta bounce for your kids, you gotta bounce. So she left. Then, you know, a couple of minutes later, maybe an hour or so later, baby moms and baby comes through, and it is such a good reunion. He's so happy to see her, and baby girl cries to the camera when she does her confessional about how happy she is to see her dad, and Andrea misses that. She's not there to see it because she's being a selfish woman. Holly, who is the mother of the child, for some reason I remember baby mom's name and I don't remember child's name. So Holly is like, where's Andrea? Where's your girl? And he's like, I think she's jealous, like, of you, and I think she's insecure. I tried to tell her there's no reason to be insecure. And baby moms is like, yeah, there's no reason to be insecure. Like, I mean, woman to woman, I obviously want to meet her because my daughter might be spending some time with her, and I hope that she would understand that, and to know that I'm not a threat. Like, don't be threatened by me. And he's just like, I try to get her to see that, but like, it's like she gets an idea into her head and then she just runs. Like, she literally runs away. He's just like, but you know, nothing's gonna get in the way of my daughter. She's not gonna stop me from seeing my family. Like, that's not gonna happen. So I don't know what she thinks is gonna go down. And Holly's just like, yeah, I mean, it's really weird that she's not here to see the daughter. And my thing is like, what a first impression on the daughter. The daughter is sitting there hearing how Andrea left because she doesn't want to meet the mom. How would that would make me feel like this is a crazy woman who's like gonna continuously try to get in the way of me having a relationship with my dad. And that's what it feels like from Andrea. Andrea is claiming that she would have no problem with the daughter seeing him, but I don't think that's true. I think she's gonna have all the problems with it. I don't think she's gonna be open. I don't think she's gonna be welcoming. I think she's gonna put up her I'm a Mormon and we don't do that wall and be very bougie about the situation. And I'm like, look, mama, you got with Baby Nook, right? So you're gonna have to take all that encompasses being with a nigga like Baby Nook. Just my opinion. And I feel like if you're gonna be down, then be down. But you can't be half down. You can't be fake down. And I feel like she's fake down. Like, she really doesn't understand her place in this situation. Yeah, there are going to be times where it's Lamar and Andrea, Lamar and Andrea, Lamar and Andrea, but there are going to be times where Lamar is going to have to be someone else. And just because she wrote him for 6 years and went to visit him for 6 years does not mean that she should come first between anyone else in his life. So anyways, she then text messages Baby Nook a couple of hours later, and it's just like, I'm lost, come and get me. So then he needs to hop in the car with his homie and go somewhere and find her. Like, all of a sudden she doesn't have GPS, don't know the address of the place that she was, can't just put it in her phone. She can't, whatever. She can text him, but she can't Google it, right? Okay. So they go to find her, and Lamar sees right through it. Lamar is like, I think she's lying and pretending to be lost so that I can just leave this event and go find her. And that's not right. So she better be lost. So they get there, and she comes out with, not like, oh my God, I'm so sorry I took you away from your family. I'm so sorry that I like left and then got lost. Like, oh, I'm sorry, babe. Nothing. No. Andrea's not adult about it. She's a child. And she says, oh, so how was it being with your baby moms? How was that? How was that hanging out with your baby moms? And he's like, what do you mean? And she's like, you should have left with me. You chose them over me. And he's like, I'm not going to choose you over my kid. Like, I'm not going to do that. The same way that I wouldn't expect you to choose me over your kids. And she's like, I'm not even talking about that. Like, then she gets super defensive because he's making sense. He's being logical and making sense. So then she gets defensive. Now, I could be wrong. Editing could be a B, and they could just be setting it up for Andrea to fail. But based on what I see, she's being irrational. You need to ride for me. What? Ride for you what? This is not even a situation about riding for her. This is a situation about him seeing his progeny. You know what I'm saying? Seeing his child. And then she's like, what kind of ex comes to a homecoming? Someone you laid up with and had a baby with is not supposed to come to your homecoming party? She's like, oh, well, then you're gonna have to be around my ex. What if my ex is around all the time? He's like, so be it. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's the father of your kids. Like, I don't understand why it's weird. And then Andrea's like, well, I'm not gonna have your exes or your baby mamas following us around Los Angeles. I'm like, it's been 2 days. What do you mean they've been following you around Los Angeles? What's happening? It's just such an unrealistic request, you guys. I'm baffled. I really don't understand. Auntie, can you have another interview and ask Andrea why she's being ridiculous and like what's going on? Please. The people want to know. So anyway, she's having this argument with him. It looks like somebody has called the police, and there are some cops like loitering, waiting for something to happen. I'm gonna go ahead and say that Lamar did get a little aggressive with her. He didn't put hands on her, but he wouldn't let her walk away. My thing is like, why would he let her walk away? First of all, because they're staying in the same hotel, and all of a sudden now she's like, get away from me. I don't want to see you anymore. Go with your family. Like, he just really wants her to explain what she's feeling, and she won't. She just wants to walk away and tell him to leave her alone. And she's like, I don't think Lamar understands that if the police get him, he's gonna go back to jail. I'm like, I don't think you understand that if the police gets him, that he's gonna go back to jail. What you should have done is said, okay, now that you're here, let's get in the car, go back to the hotel and have this conversation. Or let me drop you off wherever. And then if you need a ride back to the hotel, like, why isn't she riding for him in this moment? Why isn't she making sure that he's safe and okay in this moment? It's all about her. 2 days out of prison, and she's mad because she has to share space, breathe the same air as the mother of his child, who he isn't even with like that. I don't get it. I'm just really disappointed in her. She needs to get over all of her feelings and be an adult. All right, you guys, that is the end of this video. If you like what I do here on this channel and you'd like to consider becoming a Patreon patron, please click the links down below. Also, remember that there are the links for this. Did I even show this to you? Let me get up a little bit. So, this is it. It's cute, right? Like, I could wear it with some high-waisted jeans. It isn't super long. It's very lightweight. It's great for these Cali winters, you know what I'm saying? So in the comments down below, let me know what you thought of this episode and what body part you like to show off. I like to show off my shoulders. All right, you guys, remember to be you, be true, and find your place. Bye.